Hola! Welcome to Scarlet Stories episode True Crime Documentary. My name is Scarlett, and in this video, I will tell you about a really shocking case that has been all over the news. You may have already heard about a nurse named Lucy Letby, who has been identified as a serial killer targeting babies under her care. This particular case is one of the most shocking in the field of healthcare. Throughout this video, I will provide you with detailed information about Lucy Letby, her method of committing the crimes, possible motives behind her actions, how she was apprehended by the authorities, the legal proceedings, and the final judgment handed down by the judge. If you later find this video interesting, be sure to subscribe and enable the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future interesting content. The case began in 2015 at the Countess of Chester Hospital, which is located in England, UK. This hospital, under the UK NHS National Health Service, serves as the primary public hospital in Chester and is widely recognized. To provide some context, in 2015, out of the nearly 700,000 babies born in the UK, 3,000 were delivered at the Countess of Chester Hospital. It is astonishing to think that within the following 12 months, from June 2015 to June 2016, a tragic event unfolded when doctors at the hospital noticed an unusual increase in infant death within the neonatal unit, which is a specialized ward for premature babies and those with special needs. Despite extensive investigations conducted by the hospital, no medical explanations were found, leading them at the end to involve the authorities. After year-long investigations, a nurse named Lucy Letby was arrested and charged with the murder and attempted murder of a total of 17 babies. Lucy Letby, who was born in 1990 in England, was raised in the city of Hereford as the only child of a middle-class family. She was a diligent yet shy child with aspirations of becoming a nurse. After completing her basic education at a local school, Letby pursued her nursing education at university. Following her studies, she moved to Chester, where she underwent a 3-year training program at the Countess of Chester Hospital and the Liverpool Women's. Upon completing her training, Letby was appointed as a permanent nurse, and due to her perseverance, she quickly advanced to work in the neonatal unit and eventually became a Band 5 nurse. During the court proceedings, Letby claimed to have cared for hundreds of babies within her unit. "I enjoy the intensive care work that was my passion. All nurses on the unit have an area they prefer or excel at. They knew I was happy." In her daily life, Letby is known as a diligent person and is liked by many patients and co-workers. In fact, one of her childhood friends even nicknamed her Mary Poppins due to her motherly nature and constant vigilance. One of her co-workers described Letby as a hard-working but introverted person. As Carla Jones said, "She was very hard-working and was quiet. I didn't feel like I knew her." Who would have thought that behind her characters who looks good and normal, it turns out that Letby is capable of doing things beyond common sense. On June 8, 2015, a pair of twins were born prematurely at the Countess of Chester Hospital. Despite their premature birth, the hospital staff believed that the twins' condition was stable enough for them to be cared for in the neonatal unit and eventually join their family. Unfortunately, a distressing incident occurred with one of the babies, referred to as Baby A, shortly after being attended to by Lucy Letby. Less than an hour after Letby's care, a doctor and a nurse were summoned to examine Baby A's incubator. Both doctor and consultant note an odd discoloration on the boy's skin, patches of pink over blue skins that appear and disappear. Despite the doctors' and nurses' effort to provide emergency assistance, baby A's life could not be saved. It is believed that Letby called the doctor to minimize suspicion surrounding a baby's death during her shift and to demonstrate her genuine concern and worry for the babies under her care. However, later it was known that Letby caused baby A's death by injecting air into the bloodstream, resulting in intravascular air embolism. After the death of baby A, the parents of these twin babies become more protective of the safety of baby A's twin brother, baby B. So they decided to carry out supervisions by standing guard next to baby B incubator. When night fell, it was Letby's turn to stand guard in the neonatal unit. Letby convinced them to rest for a while because they had been on guard all day. This is when Letby tried to do the same thing she did to baby A, injecting air into the bloodstream. Luckily, baby B could be saved after being given emergency help. Baby C died after Lucy Letby injected air into his stomach through a nasal tube. Baby C was admitted to the neonatal unit because the baby was born prematurely at 30 weeks and weighed only 800 grams. After several days of treatment, the doctor thought his condition had improved, so the breathing air he was given was reduced. But in the early hours of June 14, he suddenly fainted after the nurse looking after him left the room briefly. Baby C recovered quickly, but only 15 minutes later was unconscious again, with Letby seen at her bedside once again. Unfortunately, after various effort by doctors, baby C could not be saved and was declared dead. Lucy Letby killed baby D in the same way as the twins, namely by injecting air into the bloodstream. After the death of baby D, Letby sends many messages to friends in the wake of baby D's death and the preceding death and collapses which she suggested they could all clearly be explained as natural causes. It was started by Dr. Stephen Berry, a neonatal lead consultant at the hospital, who noticed something odd due to the increase in the number of unnatural deaths of babies. After voicing his suspicion to management, a meeting was agreed between Dr. Stephen Berry and Director of Nursing Alison Kelly, along with other hospital leaders to discuss infant death, especially baby D. One of the topics raised by Dr. Stephen was the correlations between the infant death and Lucy presence. Baby E, an identical twin boy, died after Lucy Letby injected air into his bloodstream. He was supposed to be born at the Liverpool's Women's Centre Hospital, but on the day of the birth, the hospital was full, so their mother was sent to Countess of Chester. It was reported that when the mother was going to give breast milk to the neonatal unit, she could hear baby E screaming and there was blood coming out of his mouth. Baby E's blood loss amounted to a quarter of all the blood in his body, and the doctor said he had never seen bleeding that much in a baby. After being unconscious several times, baby E was given CPR for 47 minutes, but doctors decided not to continue after finding out he had been without oxygen for 15 minutes. Baby E was then given to his parents to hold as he died. The day after killing baby E, Lucy Letby used insulin for the first time to poison and try to kill his twin brother, baby F. Baby F was prescribed a bag of TPN fluid, total parenteral nutrition, and then experienced an unexpected drop in blood sugar level and a spike in heart rate. Insulin level checks were performed and show conclusive evidence that someone had given insulin to poison him. One important note, no other babies in the neonatal unit were prescribed insulin, so baby F could not have received medication intended for another baby due to her negligence. Lucy Letby makes her first attempt to kill baby G, a very premature baby girl, by feeding her excessive amount of milk. This made baby G vomit from her bed onto a nearby chair and floor. Baby G then fainted and stopped breathing. She was transferred back to another hospital for treatment and, after recovering quickly, was returned to Chester on 16 September. Lucy Letby made one more attempt to kill baby G, again by overfeeding her and injecting air into her stomach. On the morning of September 21st, after being fed by Letby, baby G vomited again and stopped breathing briefly. But baby G recovered quickly when a junior doctor was called and stabilized her. As a result of this attempted murder, baby G became seriously disabled and suffered from level 5 cerebral palsy. Letby made her first attempt to try to kill baby I, a baby girl, during the day shift. She tried injecting air into the baby's stomach through a nasogastric tube. Letby attempted 2 more times to kill baby I, on October 12 and 13. In this second alleged incident, a night shift colleague recalled Letby standing in the doorway of a dark room in the neonatal unit when she saw baby I looking pale. Her colleague turned on the light and saw baby I, who appeared to be at the point of death and was not breathing. A pediatrician who reviewed baby I's case concluded that the baby's condition worsened because a large amount of air was deliberately introduced into her stomach through a nasogastric tube. In the early hours in the morning, baby I suddenly became unconscious and needed chest compression. She was successfully resuscitated and gradually recovered until she could show signs of starvation. Then the mother of baby I was called and told that she and her partner had to go to the hospital immediately to see the baby's condition. Less than an hour later, the child's monitor alarm went off and Letby's partner responded and found Letby standing near the child's incubator. Letby's partner wanted to intervene because baby I seemed unsettled and distressed, but Letby said she would be able to sort it. However, what happened next was that baby I collapsed and died after attempts to revive her, led by a registrar, were unsuccessful. A pediatrician believed that on the last occasions, the baby was injected with air into her bloodstream, which caused her to scream, followed quickly by loss of consciousness. One strange fact in this case is that Letby was later said to have sent a sympathy card to the baby's girl parents. In October 2015, senior doctors finally discovered a pattern between the death of babies in the neonatal unit and the presence of Lucy Letby. The consultants and doctors there tried to warn senior management, but none of them believed anyone was deliberately harming babies. The second inquest was carried out following the unexpected death of 5 babies in just half a year and 6 more suffering near deaths while on the ward. The report from the internal investigation said, although they could not find a definitive explanation for the increased death rate, they had identified significant gaps in medical and nursing rotations, poor decision-making, and inadequate health coverage. Letby was working the day shift when she attempted to kill twin boys, baby L and M. She administered an unauthorized dose of insulin to baby L, and as the attack progressed, Letby turned her attention to baby M by introducing air into his circulations. As a result of her actions, baby M was in critical condition after his heart rate and breathing dropped drastically without warning, but fortunately baby M's condition improved during the night shift and then recovered quickly. The baby boy suddenly experienced a drop in oxygen levels in his blood to a life-threatening levels. Luckily, baby N was able to recover after receiving emergency help from doctors and nurses. Independent medical experts said that the baby's sudden worsening of the condition was consistent with some kind of injury sustained as a result of receiving air injections. Baby O was one of the boy triplets who was initially in good and stable conditions, suffered a major setback when Lucy Letby started to work after returning from her holiday to Ibiza. The decline was caused by Letby injecting his feeding tube with air, disrupting his blood supply and causing him to faint. A nurse asked if he could be moved to another nursery for closer monitoring, but Letby rejected the suggestion. At around 14:40, after Letby gave baby O fluids, his oxygen levels and heart rate dropped again. A rash began to appear on baby O, similar to that seen on other babies who died. An hour later, the baby suddenly fainted again. He was stable, but he fainted again and CPR was started. He stabilized again, but within an hour, baby O needed CPR. However, because his condition did not improve, a decision was taken to stop resuscitations. Baby O died in his mother's arms. A post-mortem examination found baby O suffered a liver injury similar to a traffic collision that experts said was unlikely to have been caused by CPR. Baby P's condition deteriorated as preparations were made to transfer him to another hospital. However, before the transfer was planned, Lucy Letby told the doctor, "He is not living a life here, is he?" Not long afterward, baby P became unconscious and died. Hospital officials reached a critical point and decided to move Letby from the neonatal unit after the triplet baby incident. Nurses working in the neonatal unit were also sent an email informing them that as part of the external review, they would undergo individual clinic supervision, starting with the staff involved in many of the acute events. It is claimed that Letby is willing to be the first person to undergo supervisions. Letby was assigned to perform administrative duties with the patient experience team before starting a 3-month assignment in the Risk and Patient Safety Office. Letby reportedly attended a formal review with her union representative before putting her complaints against the hospital over her transfer to an administrative job. The Countess of Chester Hospital under NHS Foundation Trust brought in Cheshire Police to assist with the ongoing internal review. Hospital leadership issued a statement saying, "As a hospital, we have taken the clinical review as far as we can. We have now asked for the input of Cheshire Police to seek assurance that enable us to rule out unnatural causes of death." Cheshire Police also formed a special operations with a team of detectives and public investigators called Operations Hummingbird to uncover Lucy Letby's crime. Letby was arrested on suspicions of 8 counts of murder and 6 counts of attempted murder. Following the arrest, her home in Arran Avenue, Hereford, was searched by the police.
in the back seat over here.
Hold on now until
Yes.
you get the seat up.
Okay, just take a seat in there for me, Lucy.
Told me that there had been a lot more deaths and that I'd been linked to somebody that's there for a lot of them. Did you have any concerns that there was a rise in the mortality rate?
Yes.
Okay, so tell me about that. What concerns did you have?
I think we'd all just noticed as a team in general, the nurse and staff, that this was a rise compared to previous years.
She was released on bail pending further investigations. Letby was arrested a second time due to further investigation. She was suspected of 8 murders and 9 attempted murders. Letby was released on bail once again pending further questioning. Letby is arrested for the last time. Letby was charged with 8 counts of murder and 10 counts of attempted murder. Letby and her lawyer tried to both bail again so she could await trial in freedom, but her bail was denied and she was returned to police custody. Letby's trial began at Manchester Crown Court. She pleaded not guilty to 7 counts of murder and 15 counts of attempted murder relating to 10 babies. After 9 months, on July 10, 2023, the jury was sent out to consider the verdict. After 22 days, the jury found Letby guilty. Letby, now 33, was given a life sentence after the jury found her guilty of murdering 7 babies and attempting to murder 6 others at the Countess of Chester Hospital's neonatal unit in 2015 and 2016. Because the jury consisting of 7 women and 4 men could not reach a decision on Letby's murder charge of 3 baby girls, baby H, baby G and baby K, they also could not reach a decision on 2 counts of attempted murder of baby N, a baby boy, and allegation that she tried to kill another baby boy, baby Q. Prosecutors are seeking a retrial on a number of unresolved charges. The trial is scheduled to take place at the same court on Monday, 25th September. Lucy Letby never admitted guilty in the investigation. She was not even present at the full court decision hearing session. It was reported that Letby was only present at the beginning of the verdict reading. After crying when she heard the judge's decision, Letby refused to enter the courtroom again to hear the judge's entire verdict.
The defendant, Lucy Letby, has refused to attend court for this sentence hearing. Accordingly, I have to sentence her in her absence. I shall deliver the sentencing remarks as if she was present to hear them, and I direct that she is provided with a transcript of my remarks and copies.
Because of this, the parents of these babies did not get a definite answer from Letby's own mouth as to why the tragic things happened to these poor babies. Here we can only speculate. Based on the result of the investigations, the prosecutor revealed that there were 5 possible motives. Number 1. Obsession with the doctor. Lucy Letby is obsessed with a married male doctor at the hospital where she worked, Dr. A. It is suspected that Letby's cruelty toward these poor babies was because Letby wanted to attract the attention of Dr. A. Dr. A also worked in the neonatal unit, so every time there was a critical baby in the ward, Dr. A would be called to check on the condition of the baby. During the trial, Letby did not show any emotion when the prosecutor read out the details and charges regarding the baby she heard. Letby only showed little emotion when the prosecutor mentioned her 2 cats and the house she lived in. When the prosecutor continued his statement regarding the chronology of the murder and attempted murder of the baby, Letby again showed no emotion. As soon as the prosecutor played Dr. A's voice to testify, Letby became disturbed and cried. Dr. A was introduced by the prosecutor as boyfriend, but Letby denied it. I loved him as a friend. I was not in love with him. He was a married man and it's not a relationship at all. It's a friendship. A prosecutor named Mr. Johnson asked her, "Did you enjoy being in this crisis situation with Dr. A? Did it give you something to talk about and message about?" Which Letby replied, "No, Dr. A and I were friends." Number 2. Act like a god. Letby deliberately chose a vulnerable victim and played God, deciding whether the baby would die or live. Prosecutor Nick Johnson Casey stated that Letby enjoyed playing God by killing babies and then warning her colleague. After Letby committed her final murder in June 2016, she said to her colleague, "He's not making it out of here alive, is he?" Johnson described this and similar comments about 2 previous murders as portents of doom. Number 3. Bored. Letby shamelessly said at her trial that she found the job of caring for babies who did not require much medical attention less challenging. While Letby was still working in the low-risk baby ward, she sent a message to her colleague that she was bored and wanted to work with the most vulnerable babies in the neonatal unit. Number 4. Seeking inner satisfactions. Parents and nurses said Letby acted abnormally when a baby was experiencing a decline in conditions. Child I's parents told cops they remember the nurse smiling and telling a story about how she was present at baby I's first bath and how much she loved it. Prosecutors argue that Letby gained satisfactions from what she saw, the sadness and despair in the room. From the results of an internet history investigations, Letby was found to always look for information about her victims' families on Facebook after committing the murders, on the anniversary of their death, and on Christmas Day. Number 5. Feeling not good enough. A chilling post-it note found in Letby's handbag after her arrest in July 2018 was the closest thing to a confession she made. "I killed them on purpose because I am not good enough to care for them. I am evil. I did this." Letby added, "I will never have children or marry. I will never know what it's like to have a family." It is not yet known why, but the stern note was not presented to the court as an evidence for Letby's motive. If you have heard the entire chronology of this case, of course, you are wondering how Lucy Letby could carry out her crime for that long without any significant suspicions from the hospital or her co-workers. This slow response clearly has very fatal consequences. If the police had been called to investigate earlier, it is possible that 4 to 5 babies would still be alive and starting to go to school. Dr. Stephen Brary, in his statement to the Guardian's newspaper, also expressed his regret. According to him, it is very important to involve the police from the start and to have internal consultants and hospital management who understand medical procedures as good as doctors. Because, reflecting on what happened previously, the internal investigations did not aim to answer existing suspicions, but rather to engineer some kind of narrative or a way out of this problem without having to report it to the police. This is a big homework for the healthcare institutions, especially the Countess of Chester Hospital, so that the same cases does not happen again. Hola! Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, and share this video. Look after yourself mentally and physically, and always keep your eyes open, because crime could happen anytime and anywhere. Be safe. See you in the next video. Adios!